Hey, Hunters, Halo Zoo here for another D&D 5.5 preview video. This time, we are talking about the fighter update. Basically, 5.5 is my independent project. It's basically a complete rework of 5e to kind of make it where subclasses are at first level doesn't suck, and hopefully rebalance the classes and make them much better overall, in my opinion at least. Uh, So for the fighter, this is one of the two classes that is getting basically what I would consider a drastic rework. So fighter and warlock are the two that are going to get the big rework. Ranger was going to get a big rework, but I don't think it's going to be as much of a major overhaul as these two are going to be. Simply due to the way that they have ended up working. Uh, those are the two classes that they still kind of need a major rework. Ranger, it's going to be a bit closer than it was, let's say. Uh, Regardless, for fighter, uh, so we have weapon mastery, martial order, fighting style 1, arsenal swap, and second wind at first level, so they get plenty. You will notice fighting style 1, so they have two fighting styles by default now. That is something that, as a spoiler alert, champion is gone. It is dead. My most hated subclass in the game. At least the one that I just hate its design. It's dead. I've killed it. It's gone. The good stuff is now baseline to fighter. Also, the extra ASIs and the quadruple attack has been cut out, though originally I was going to remove all the extra attacks, but one of them has snuck back in as I was inspired by a certain very misguided warlock idea in 2024 in order to give them, just let them have it. Regardless, Arsenal Swap is a completely new feature. And as 2024, you have more uses of Second Wind per day. Second level, we have Action Surge and Tactical Mind showing up. Also, you'll notice Martial Order. That is just your subclass. They have been renamed into Fighter, into Martial Orders, just for the sake of thematics. So third level, we get an Order feature and the second fighting style. Fourth level, all you get is the third use of Second Wind. That's it. Fifth level, extra attack as you'd expect, and tactical shift. Sixth level is now where Remarkable Athlete has been moved, as it is replacing an ASI. You also get the fighting style 1 adept. Also at third level, you get your second fighting style. So you basically get an additional fighting style, and because you have multiple features of it, you just get the first two. You do not get the master of that second fighting style. And then at 7th level, you get an order feature. 8th level, just an ASI and feet. That's it. 9th level, you have Stance Mastery, which is, I mean, spoiler, it's actually kind of not a new feature. It has just been renamed. It is basically the 9th level feature that they had from 2024. Because there's a new one that does stuff with web mastery. No! There's a sneeze. Excuse me. So that feature that messed with web mastery, it's basically here now. As Stance Mastery, you also get your first use of Indomitable here. 10th level, you get the fourth second wind use, and you get Fighting Style 2 Adept. So you get the next feature, second Fighting Style. 11th level, you get the second Action Surge use, and you also get an Order feature. 12th level, ASI and feet, nothing else. 13th, you get the second Indomitable use. You also get Studied Attacks. Now, don't worry, Dungeon Masters. The Infinite Advantage combo with Dex is dead. It's gone. Vex has been nerfed significantly. Because, oh my gosh, was that stupid. 14th level then, we have Fighting Style 1 Master. That's all you get. 15th level though, you get the 5th Second Wind use, and you get an Order feature. 16th, ASI and feat. 17th is where triple attack has shown up. So you do get this much later in the game than you did before. And you will not get quadruple attack, because that is what Monk has, because they are the masters of making numerous attacks. The fighter is just the master of weaponry, which is shown in a new way as well. 18th level, also at 17th, you get a 3rd Action Surge and 3rd Indomitable use too. Survivor, you have, or at 18th, that's what you get. So Survivor has been moved over from, so basically the extra Fighting Style, Remarkable Athlete, and Survivor have all moved over from Champion. So those will be new abilities that come into all fighters. So it may be dead, but all fighters are champions now, basically. 19th, ASI and feat. 20th, we have an Order feature, as well as a new feature called Veteran of 1,000 Battles, which we'll get to see. So the fighter itself, HP, D10 hit dice per level, as you'd expect, 6 plus con HP per level, as you'd expect, and then the starting HP is now 10 plus your constitution score, because, oh my gosh, is con mod never enough on start first level characters. It is, yeah, this should make you actually survivable now. Yeah. Regardless, proficiencies, armor, light, medium, heavy shields, weapons, simple and martial. For tools, you get any 2 arsenal tools and or gaming sets. I might just make that any 2 tools. Saving throws, strength and con. Skills, get to pick 2 from acrobatics, animal handling, athletics, history, insight, intimidation, perception, persuasion, and survival. I might make that a pick 3 though, just because they're martial, but well. Well, you get 2 tools, so yeah, I think it's fine. Weapon mastery. So, as I mentioned in the Barbarian video, this has changed significantly. So, stances are what I previously called exploits in the little preview. Basically, each turn you can enter 1 stance whenever you make a weapon attack, and your weapon attacks for that turn have that stance's benefit. This is the replacement to 2024 weapon mastery, which I forgot to mention, but oh well. Then you also have stamina, which can be used to use exploits, which are daily use abilities, similar to spells, but they will be more powerful, but you have very limited uses. But it works similarly to Pact Magic in that you have an exploit rank, and all your exploits are used at that rank, and stamina is your resource used to activate exploits. So you get to basically do just a few limited use deals, but boom. In addition, so these also scale like a half caster. So 5th level is when you get rank 2 exploits. And then 9th, their 3rd rank. 13th, 4th rank. 17th, 5th rank. And you go from 3 to 6 stances prepared. And you go from 3 to 7 exploits prepared. And you go from 3 to 6 stamina. So, and you will notice they are prepared. So they're going to be the one class that prepares fighter stances and exploits. So they're the one martial who gets to swap between them during long rests. So basically, as a kind of way of expressing the master of weaponry, now the master of weaponry, it means you're adaptable. You may not be the most powerful at anything, as the other classes with exploits and stuff will have stuff they're able to do that's just more powerful than what fighters have. A fighter is adaptable. They can use whatever they want whenever they want, and can swap between what they want. So a barbarian may have the single best, just make one brutally hard swing. The monk may have the best, jump all over the battlefield and hit a bunch of people at once. The rogues may have the best, snipe from afar or from the shadows, and like strike in a cunning way ability. Fighters have a bit of everything, and they can swap what they need when they want. So that is a way of changing them up. Martial order, it's your subclass. Fighting style 1, you get to choose from pretty much every fighting style except one, with an asterisk on that one, as certain subclasses will be able to access the Battlecaster, which is a replacement for some of the ones that the Paladin and Ranger exclusive fighting styles that added magic. Battlecaster is just that, rolled into one, but with some more versatility added, let's say. But fighters have archery, dueling, great weapon, long arm, protection, 2-weapon, defense, blind fighting, brawler, superior technique, and thrown weapon. And you get the 3 features of that. Arsenal swap. Basically, once per round when you change, you'd swap your weapons. You can draw and stow with both of your hands. So basically, rather than just swapping between one weapon, you swap between 2 weapons. That's it. It's a simple thing, but it's just swap all your weapons at once. Boom. Have fun. This also enables stuff like you could swap between, like if you had protection 2-weapon, you can do that. You can swap between protection mode and 2-weapon mode if you wanted to, and stuff like that. Then Second Wind, it does exactly what it's doing in 2024. Regain it 1 use with you finish a short rest, all with a long rest. But at 10th level up, you get 2 uses back when you finish a short rest. Second level, we have Action Surge. Boom. And you regain all with a short or long rest. But you only use 1 Action Surge in a round. Yada, yada, yada. Second level, Tactical Mind. Pretty much just does what it does. If you fail a skill or tool check, spend a use of Second Wind, add plus 1d10 to the skill or tool check. If the check still fails, you don't expend the use. Third level, you get the second fighting style. This is the only subclass style thing you get at a later level. However, because it is kind of a choose another of this, I've made an exception here for them. So you just get the features a bit later, and you only get the first and second part. aka Initiator, Adept, you don't get the Master. 5th level, you get extra attack, as you'd expect. Make 2 attacks instead of 1 with the attack action. 17th level, 3 attacks instead of 1 or 2. 5th level, you got Tactical Shift, so when you use Second Wind to heal yourself, you can shift up to half your speed as part of the bonus action. Shifting is basically just move without provoking opportunity attacks. 6th level, we have Remarkable Athlete, so can add half your proficiency bonus to any con, dex, or strength check that doesn't already add your proficiency to it. And you can add your strength or dex plus your proficiency to the distance and height of jumps you make. And when you roll initiative, you can shift up to your speed as a free action, basically. So you just move into position immediately. 9th level, Stance Mastery. When you would enter a martial stance, you can enter 2 different martial stances at once instead. So basically, it's kind of like the use 2 weapon masteries at once deal, but it just works in stances now. 9th level, Indomitable. When you fail a saving throw, reroll and add plus fire level to the roll. Boom. Uses are the same. And it only comes back at long rest. But you only use 1 Indomitable use per round. What it was before, pretty much. 13th level, Studied Attacks. when you miss with a weapon attack roll, you gain advantage on your next weapon attack. You can start before the end of your next turn. Does what it does, but the only difference is Vex is gone as it was, so there's no constant advantage. Also, Champion is gone, so there's no improved critical and superior critical to stack with that even more. So that stupidity is dead. It's gone. 18th level Survivor. At start of your turn, if you have at least 1 HP and are bloodied, you can regain 10 HP. So you basically gain HP every turn. And bloodied is below half health. You also have advantage on death saving throws, and you get the benefit of rolling a nat 20 on a death save when you roll a natural 19. So basically roll 19 or 20, boom, you get the bonus. 20th level is Veteran of 1,000 Battles. You gain expertise with all weapons you're proficient with, and add plus proficiency bonus to weapon damage rolls. So basically, you're just even better with weapons. That's it. You're the master of weapons and just get a massive flat bonus. But it's not just a stat buff. I wanted it to be specifically like, oh yeah, you get expertise with weapons. That's how good you are. So yeah, it should all be pretty interesting, and this is certainly a more interesting ability than what you had before, which, yeah, kind of rip quadruple attack, but hey, monks needed it. Regardless, the 4 fighter orders. So the 4 that we have are Cavalier, which is kind of replacing Champion. We have the Battle Master. So the Battle Master is still around, though it's kind of the basic one. Cavalier is the melee specific one. We also have the Spell Sword, which is Eldritch Knight renamed. And they are pretty much just what they were before, kinda. But numbers are tweaked around a little to make it work better. And work with being at first level. Then there's the Order of the Mystic Archer, which is renamed from Arcane Archer, as they've kind of been turned up to 11. And they are the ranged specific build. So there is 1 melee only and 1 ranged only. So the Cavalier. First off, you will notice combat superiority is on Order of the Cavalier. So that is something that is going to happen where if they do not have another limited use resource for short rests, they will have one as part of their, they'll get combat superiority, but they have fewer superiority dice and maneuvers than a Battle Master will. But Order of the Cavalier also has a bonus proficiency and unwavering mark at first level. And your superiority dice go from 3 to 5, and you get 1 maneuver going from 2 to 6. So your bonus proficiency, you get an extra language, and either animal handling, history, insight, or persuasion. About what you'd expect from combat superiority. You get superiority dice you can use. Pretty much, this is roughly the same, it's just you have less of each thing. And you regain superiority dice through a long rest, and they start as d6s, but d8 at 5th, d10 at 11th, d12 at 17th, so whenever cantrips upgrade, these upgrade. Unwavering mark. When you target a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can choose to have them marked by this feature till the end of your next turn. While marked this way, it has -3 on attack rolls against creatures other than you. And the mark ends early if another creature marks it, or you're incapacitated or dead. If a creature marked by you deals damage to a creature other than you while in your melee weapon's reach, you can make a special attack as a reaction and add plus 1d6 to the attack roll and 2d6 to the damage roll of the attack. And you can use this con times per long rest, so you have con uses per day. But as your superiority dice increase in size, these dice increase in size. So they don't use superiority dice directly, but they're based on their size. So at 5th level, these are d8s, d10s at 11th, and d12s at 17th. So basically, this has been supercharged to fit with the superiority dice version. Born to the Saddle at 3rd. While riding a mount, you have advantage on saving throws to avoid falling off your mount. If you do fall off, you can land on your feet if you only fall 10 feet or less and aren't incapacitated. Mounting and dismounting only costs 5 feet of your move action instead of half of it. Might give him something else at third, but I don't know what to do yet. Granted, that is kind of a utility, like, fluff feature, usually. 7th, you have Warding Strike as a Cavalier. While you're wielding a shield and or a melee weapon, whenever you or a creature in 5 feet of you would be hit by an attack roll, use a reaction to roll 1d8 at a target's AC against the attack. If it still hits, they have resistance to the damage of that attack, and this increases with your superiority dice, so it becomes a d10 11th, d12 at 17th. And you have con uses per day, same as Warding Strike's reaction. Hold the line in 11th, plus con to attack rolls for melee attacks made as part of a reaction, so your reactive attacks are even more accurate. Then at 15th level, with Ferocious Charger, once per turn when you move at least 10 feet in a straight line towards a creature, make a melee weapon attack against them, deal plus con damage on a hit, and it must make a strength save or be knocked prone. And it's against your combat superiority dice, DC. So, boom. Vigilant Defender at 20th level, you get an extra reaction every turn except your own, in addition to the normal reaction you have once per round. But this reaction can only be used on reaction attacks or warding maneuvers. So basically you have for every turn you have a reaction, but you have your normal reaction, so you can get 2 reactions in 1 turn per round. Or you can use a reaction on your turn, and then every turn you have a reaction. But just, yeah, more reactions for you. Have fun. Order of the Battle Master. Right off the bat, you'll notice they have actual frickin' features now. You're welcome. There's no more stupid, oh, instead of getting actual frickin' features, you just have some stupid combat superiority buffs. So they have combat superiority in Student of War at 1st level. However, you'll notice they have more superiority dice going from 4 to 6, and way more maneuvers going from 3 to 11. So they have a lot known. So at 1st level, you have combat superiority dice, which works pretty much the same, you just have more, because you're the master of it. You also have Student of War, which gives you proficiency with an artisan's tool of your choice, and either history, insight, or persuasion. So they have a new skill choice that ties into charisma. So then at 3rd level, you have Know Your Enemy, which is closer to what it does in 2024. So you choose a creature in 60 feet of you, learn what resistances, vulnerabilities, and immunities it has as a bonus action. And you have charisma, intelligence, or wisdom times wisdom uses per long rest. So it just ties into what stat you want to use. So probably one you chose for Student of War, which is why that's a intelligence, wisdom, and charisma skill. Kind of to fit with this, but it's technically optional. For example, if your background gave persuasion, well, you can choose history or insight still. 7th level, empowered exploits. Whenever you use a maneuver with the martial exploit, so basically whenever you use stamina to do a big exploit and use a maneuver, you had 2 superiority dice instead of 1 with the maneuver. Otherwise, roll the superiority dice twice and use the better results. So if you would use, like, so basically if it adds damage, you roll 2 instead of 1. But if it's like precision attack, because you needed to use that, you roll twice and use the better result. It's basically just a thing that buffs your exploits and ties them in with your maneuvers some. 11th, add up to battle. Your weapon attacks ignore resistances to all types of physical damage and treats immunities to physical damage as resistances normally would be. So you are such a master of using martial weapons. You can just break through stuff you shouldn't be able to. 15th, we have Relentless. When you roll initiative, you regain 2 expended superiority dice. So none of that stupid, only if you're empty do this. No, you always do this. Boom. Master of Battle. You can use maneuvers without expending superiority dice, but use a d6 instead of a d12. And you can also use any number of maneuvers per turn, but you can only expend 1 superiority dice per turn and 1 maneuver per attack. So basically, spam the maneuvers. So you just get every attack as a maneuver now. Order of the Spell Sword. So first level we have Battlecaster, Spellcasting, and Weapon Bond. Third level we have Improved Bond. 7th is Mystic Strike and War Magic. 11th is Eldritch Strikes. 15th is Arcane Charge. And 20th is Spell Sword Mastery. So Battlecaster just gives you access to Battlecaster style for Wizard. So how Battlecaster works is it's now associated with a class. So you get like Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. Or, hypothetically speaking, this could also be a Sword Mage, Invoker, or Shaman. As those are 3 additional caster classes. There may be a Battle Psi version for the Ardent, Battle-Minded, and Scion, but that is a future I'm not yet at. I've not started messing with the psionic stuff. So your spellcasting, you use intelligence for your spellcasting. And your focus is an arcane focus or a bonded weapon. Yes, it counts as an arcane focus, so you can use that to cast your spells. Also, as an additional aside with the focus, this can now be used for somatic components. So if you're holding an arcane focus, that can always be used to make somatic components. Boom. The spell list, same as the wizard. Eldritch Blades typically focus on evocation and abjuration spells, but you can choose any school of magic to use, which means you could be a Death Knight and just use necrotic spells, cantrips, and all that stuff. As shown, that is supposed to be 4th. First through 4th. Not through 5th. Oops. That was a typo. Also, I'm not in view mode, but oh well. Totally professional guys. So anyway, you start with just cantrips at 1st level, so you only have your cantrips available. But at 3rd level, you will get 1st level spells, and 3 spells. And you progress kind of as a half caster, but slower. So at 3rd, 7th, 11th, and 15th level, you get a new rank of spells available. And you'll go from 3 spells known all the way up to 14. And you'll go up to 5 cantrips known, as you have very limited number. We also notice that they do tend to jump up by 2 spells known whenever they get a new rank, just to help them with their spells known. So, Weapon Bond, you can spend an hour to do ritual, which can be part of a short rest. To get a bond between you and a weapon of your choice you're holding for the ritual's duration. While a weapon's bonded to you, you can use a bonus action to teleport the weapon to or from a pocket dimension in the space between realities, potentially even swapping places with another of your bonded weapons. And you have 2 weapons bonded at a time. And attempting to bond with the third causes one of them to be unbonded, appearing in space in 5 feet of you if it was in a pocket dimension. And you can bond with 2 one-handed weapons with a light property at once, treating them as if they were one bonded weapon rather than 2. So basically, for 2 weapon fighters, you just have 2 sets of light weapons as your bonded weapons. You're welcome. 3rd level improved bond. Whenever you make a ranged attack with the bonded weapon, the weapon either returns to your hand afterwards with its thrown weapon, otherwise conjure mundane ammunition from thin air with the attack that it vanishes afterwards, and melee weapons cannot be disarmed while bonded. So basically just a few tweaks to make it, keep with the magic theme, but it's just utility stuff. 7th level with Mystic Strike. Attacks with your bonded weapons deal force damage in addition to their other types, and always count as magical. After casting a spell that deals damage of a type other than force, or your bonded weapon's normal type, you can exchange Mystic Strike's force damage with that damage type until the start of your next turn. So basically, if you cast a fire spell, oh, you now deal fire damage with your weapon. Just is a cool little thing to have. 7th level with War Magic. When you take the attack action with your normal standard action, not the one with Action Surge, while wielding a bonded weapon, you can cast a cantrip with a standard action cast time as part of the action in place of one weapon attack. You don't have disadvantage on a ranged spell attack roll if you're in reach of an enemy if you're wielding a melee bonded weapon. It's basically just a quality of life thing of, hey, if you want to Ray of Frost while wielding a longsword, you can. Don't worry about it. At 11th level, you can cast a 1st or 2nd rank spell this way, and at 15th level, you can cast a 3rd or 4th rank spell this way. So basically, as you progress, you'll get access to more powerful spells to cast through this. And it doesn't take more weapon attacks, but that's mostly because you don't have the extra weapon attacks to do. If only because you do not have access to them. 11th level, Eldritch Strikes. Whenever you hit a target with an attack using a bonded weapon, the first spell you cast on that target before the end of your next turn either has plus strength or dex on the attack roll, and or the target has minus strength or dex on the saving throws. So basically, whenever you use your bonded weapon to attack, your next spell has a buff. Boom. It's also a flat buff, but well. Arcane Charge at 15th. Whenever you use Action Surge, you can teleport a total of 30 feet before and or after the extra standard action. When you use Tactical Shift, you can teleport instead of shifting. So, as a fun thing of, oh yeah, that lets you shift. Okay, now you teleport when you second wind. So it ties into that now as well. And then at 20th, we have Spell Sword Mastery. Weapon attacks and damaging spells made or cast with bonded weapons deal plus 1d8 plus int damage of Mystic Strike's current damage type. So basically just, you add some magic damage to all your attacks now. So you get even more bonuses for damage. Then, last but not least, the Mystic Archer. Yeah, this has been massively buffed, so you have magic arrows and magic shots, mystic shots. So you have 3 to 5 magic arrows, basically scaling like a non-battle master combat superiority class. And the mystic shots, goes from 3 to 6. So then at first level, we have Mystic Affinity and Mystical Quiver, which is where you get the arcane arrows, magic arrows, and mystic shots. Mystic Munitions, which is a utility feature. 7th level has Curving Shot, Mystic Overload at 11th. 15th has Ever Ready Shot, and then 20th is Unending Quiver. So Mystic Affinity, what this does, basically, you choose a spell tradition. So you can choose Arcane, Divine, or Primal. You will learn a cantrip based, or 2 cantrips based on the choice. So Arcane is Prestidigitation and a Wizard cantrip. It also gives you access to the Battlecaster style for a class associated with that. So Arcane is the Wizard. And you get a skill proficiency based on that tradition. So Arcane has Arcana. So for Divine, and also your stat is based on it. So Arcane would be Intelligence. Divine is Charisma for magic arrows, Thaumaturgy, and a Cleric cantrip. You get Religion as a skill, and you have the Cleric Battlecaster style. For Primal, you're using Wisdom for magic arrow, and you get Druidcraft and another Druid cantrip of your choice. And you have Proficiency in Nature, and can access the Druid Battlecaster style. So, yeah, you just have magic stuff. And this is also why it's the Mystic Archer, not Arcane Archer. Because you can still be the Arcane Archer, but you can also be a Divine Archer or a Primal Archer. Mystical Quiver, so you have a quiver of magic arrows that can be used to activate mystic shots. Number of arrows you have access to is the magic arrows column, and the mystic shots known as the known column. If it requires a saving throw, it uses 8 plus prop plus your magic arrow stat. And if the attack is a critical hit, so yeah, it now has a -5 on the saving throw against it. You use 1 mystic shot per turn, and you regain expended magic arrows when you finish a short or long rest. So yeah, these are also massively buffed. And there is almost triple the number of mystic shots. Yeah, so there's going to be 2 per school of magic, plus an additional 2 per mystic affinity. So each affinity has 2 choices. Like, Divine has one that can heal people. Primal has one that summons a beast as part of it. The mystic munitions. When you make a ranged attack with a weapon, the weapon either returns to your hand afterwards if it's a thrown weapon. Otherwise, you conjure mundane magical ammunition that disappears afterwards. Basically improved bonded weapon. However, this does more stuff. So, basically, you can choose a damage type based on your mystic affinity for these to do. And at 15th, you can choose 2 damage types instead of 1. 5th level, arrows fired this way are treated as +1 ammunition. 11th, they're +2 ammunition. And 17th, they are +3 ammunition. So basically, if you don't have a magic weapon modifier, this has a +1 to +3 modifier added on. So all 3 of them can choose Acid, Cold, Fire, or Lightning. Arcane can choose Force or Psychic. Divine, Radiant, or Necrotic. And then Primal can choose Poison or Thunder. So you just have 2 options that are unique to your choice, but the other 4 are just the 4 elemental damage types. For energy, at least. Curving Shot at 7th. Once per round, miss with an attack used a mystic shot on or fired magical ammunition with. So this does work with magic arrows. That isn't for mystic munitions. You can use a free action to repeat the attack against a different creature in 60 feet of the original, using the original target as the origin of the second attack, and as if it was in the same range as the first attack was. 13th level, you gain +3 to the attack roll of the second attack. So basically a slightly upgraded version. So this also works with any like magical arrow you're given. So if you have like a fireball arrow, this works with it. If you have, like, for whatever reason, you have a normal +1 arrow, it works with it. As the Mystic Munition ones don't count, but if you have a normal one, like an actual one, you can use it, and it works with it. 10th level, Mystic Overload. When you use a Mystic Shot, you can spend 1 stamina point to overload it and deal +1 weapon, which means just the weapon damage dice, extra damage of the Mystic Shot's type for each exploit rank you have. So if you have, so at 10th level, this would actually be 3rd rank. So you do 3 weapon extra damage with it. And overloaded Mystic Shots also deal half damage on a miss and or successful saving throw. And you can use this magic arrow stat times per day. So you can't use this all the time, but you can use it a number equal to your intelligence, charisma, or wisdom, depending on your affinity. 15th, with ever ready shots. When you roll initiative, you gain 1 expended magic arrow and can make a ranged weapon attack as a free action, but you can't use magic arrows on this attack. So basically you can make a basic ranged weapon attack as a free action when you roll initiative now. To kind of play further into that ever ready shot, it's like, oh, combat begins, shoot somebody. Which just kind of fits with that name, in my opinion. 20th level, Unending Quiver. Whenever you make a ranged weapon attack and don't expend a magic arrow, you can activate a Mystic Shot, but don't deal any extra damage with it. In addition, you can use Curving Shot more than once per round. So basically, any time you shoot, you can use Curving Shot. Also, I think I'll have the same wording as Battle Master's Master Battle, where you can use multiple Mystic Shots per turn, but can only use 1 magic arrow per turn. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this look at the fighter class in all of its glory. But without further ado, I guess I'll see y'all next time. Halo Zoo.